What about you?
Thank you, sir. Sorry for the disturbance.
I don't like you recording them when they're having private conversation.
What's recorded?
Huh?
How can I pick their voice from there?
The voice is not, you're not picking it.
I'm going for you.
Not from your page, I don't like it.
I can do it even if I'm using an ultra microphone.
It will still pick. That phone is picking their voices.
Salute you, man. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Check it out. Got this number protect you. I told you we'll go allow you today.
All right, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are currently in the Federal High Court, Abuja, where the trial of Nnamdi Kanu is going on. So this is where you get your legit information. If you are just joining us now, you can check back our previous videos so that you can understand what's going on, how we have been covering the trial of Nnamdi Kanu from day 1 to day 7, so that you can know that we, the Biafrans, have defeated the zoo. Because they have no other reason but to release this man. Because if they keep adjoining this case, they are to lose. Because each Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing, the Nigerian government spent close to 500 million naira. Each particular sitting, both for security coverance, both for everything, the Nigerian government keeps spending 500 million naira. That means they are the one benefiting from all these things. Then, believe me, this insecurity that are happening in Southeast, this arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, detention of Simon Ekpa, the Nigerian government, the Nigerian zoo government are the people benefiting from all these things. So we are live and direct, so do well to subscribe and react to these videos on the comment section. So stay tuned as we continue the video. Now listen.
The God was only microphone. That completely made caricature of every idiocy of the zoo government against Nnamdi Kanu. Only that first evidence has destroyed everything in the favor against the zoo and in the favor of Nnamdi Kanu. Are you paying attention? Now the second witness. So why are you masking them? Why are you? You don't have to mask them anyway. The DSS thought the zoo, well, when Fulani Goro eaters are in charge, what else do you expect? So the witness are Mago Fam Manazo, but this is just the headline. So now, according to the headline, which no instrument of terrorism found on Nnamdi Kanu, DSS witness tells court. So why are you then trying him? Since there is no any instrument of terrorism found on him, why have you kept him for the past 5 years? Plus another 2 years between 2015 and 2017. Why did you keep him? Why have you kept him? Why have you been suffering him? When remember the case is suffering, not suffering. The case is answering is terrorism and treasonable felony. I think they no longer talk about treason because you cannot label me. You cannot label me treasonable offense. You cannot label a treasonable offense against me when I am not planning to usurp the president. Yes, treasonable offense is when somebody tries to commit an act of treason by trying to forcefully remove the power that be, the ruling power, the president. As a matter of fact, the person who accused Nnamdi Kanu of treason is somebody who committed treason, which is Buhari. Buhari committed treason in 1983 by forcefully removing the democratically elected president, Shehu Shagari, and Alex Ekwueme. These are histories, things that happened. Yes, that is treasonable offense. And to make the matter worse, he also, after usurping the democratically elected government, which is pure treason, yet he didn't rule well. At least the reason why people are standing in solidarity or standing behind Traoré of Burkina Faso is because the whole world knows he committed treason. But he is transforming the country into a better, a better state, into becoming, for the citizens to, to realize that they are really human beings. Because under the management of whoever that was there, the democratic president of France in Burkina Faso, the people were living like animals. Just as the way the zoo, the people in the zoo here are living like animals. No human being is living in the zoo. There is no any human being that is living in the zoo. Even if you like B.O.B. Cubana, if you like, after all, E-Money never expected to be arrested. He was arrested the other day. Somebody who claimed to be as big as E-Money was arrested. Obi Cubana can still be arrested anytime soon. The other idiot that called himself a Cubana chief priest was once arrested a few months ago. So anybody living in the zoo can never be considered as a human being. So Traoré is making the citizens to believe, to see and believe and understand the benefit of living as a human being, not living as an animal. So that's why his treasonable offense can be easily forgiven by the citizens. Easily forgiven. Now, the Buhari time committed treasonable offense against Shehu Shagari's government, yet he returned the zoo into the zoo. He returned Nigeria into the zoo that is meant to be. That's why he can never be forgiven. And this same person had the guts to accuse Nnamdi Kanu after committing an act of kidnap and extraordinary rendition in Kenya to Nigeria. He had the guts to label him, a terrorist and treasonable, felony. Now, that one is gone. Nobody is talking about treason again because it is in the open that he has not committed any crime of treasonable offense. So they are talking about terrorism, and the DSS witness has shot them in the foot by saying that they did not find any instrument of terrorism. Why won't you leave him immediately? They said BW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence. I didn't see this one. Biafrans, we are winning. We are winning. We are winning. And remember, this is a certified witness of the DS. I hope they don't assassinate him once he's leaving the court. Because I believe that this person must be no. Maybe this one is an Igbo man. This one might be a Yoruba or no, not Yoruba. This one might be an Hausa man. This one might be an Hausa man. I wish we can see him to save. Let's continue first. He said, PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence, it's no longer terrorism, but violence on the lady with kanu, and did not consider her company as facilitating terrorism. Again, and Akukwaka here. This headline alone is okay for us to be happy. And Akukwaka, and I share this broadcast. And I share this broadcast. Obukwandi maduna agenti here. Obukwandi maduna here na agenti. Now let's continue. I will defeat you in your own court, said Nnamdi Kanu many years ago. Now, the trial of the embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, resumed on Friday before Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, with the cross-examination of principal witness who said he did not find any instrument of terrorism on Kanu. The zoo is disappointed. Tinubu is disappointed that their own witness has shot them in the foot. So why did you call a witness? Excuse me. Why did you call a witness in the first place? The court had granted the request of the federal government for witnesses to testify behind the screens. Why the prosecution counsel is Adeboyoga Awomolo-san, a former Attorney General of the Federation. Kanu Agabi led the defense team. An operative of the Department of State Services, known simply as AAA, appeared as PW1. When AAA was asked if he was the officer conducting the interview in the video played in court, he said that 5 officers were in the room. That is not the question. And that he was one of them. Okay, fine. Very fantastic. So that means he is speaking out of experience, out of eyewitness. He was there. Not that he thought. Not that he thought. He's speaking out of experience based on what he knows. Now, he said his role in the investigation was limited to arresting the defendant, obtaining his statement, and escorting him to Abuja for onward investigation. On the items presented in court, AAA was asked if there was any which on the face of it was offensive, and he said no. This is the cross-examination. Remember I told you on the 29th, now I have a question. I told the so-called witness, now I have I also told the second witness that it is better you withdraw, because this first witness will not be able to contain the questions that will be asked to him. Now, when asked if he had analyzed any of the items recovered from him, he said he analyzed only his phone. Oh, so unu welu phone ya? Unu sees the phone ya? And now let's continue. He said the phone was in evidence, though there was no analysis in evidence because they considered it immaterial to the case. Today I'm going to behave like a kid in order to mock the idiocy of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. Now, when asked, do you agree that in the 10 years since you confiscated these items, many of them have lost their use? AA said yes. Triple A was asked whether there is a record of the items he claimed the DSS returned to the defendant. He said yes, but noted that he didn't personally keep the record. Oh, he lose go now. Today, Busorom Chia. Today, Busorom Chia. He lose go because I don't know, or I am not aware. In fact, in a simple term, ignorance of the law is not an excuse in the court of competent jurisdiction. Ignorance of law is never an excuse in the court of law. So if you say you didn't keep the record, so what else are you going to use to try him, the defendant? You have lost the case. The DSS, the zoo entirely have lost the case against Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think if the judge has any other thing to judge here, because the case is over. Now, PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence on the lady with Kanu. At least, I am satisfied that Channels Television of all evil in the world is the one who made this, publication today. Few minutes ago, it just landed on my news desk. You see? That there was no any evidence of violence on the lady with Kanu and did not consider her company as facilitating terrorism. So, moreover, this lady of 18 could be a hotel, attendant. Kifa na kwe ndi manya hotel, ndi na hotel, ndi manya hotel, ndi na hotel, ndi na serve guest. Kifa na akpo fabuko. Kedi fa na akpo ndi na serve na guest. I want to see the comment. Hotel attend? No, I don't think he's attendant. Kifa na akpo ndi na serve na hotel. No, kwandi na egemuntu here. Is my voice coming out? Is my voice coming out, please? What do you call hotel? I don't know if it's attendance or whatever. Give an appointment out on a hotel. Then I'll be a settled guest. Yeah, not the quack on DT Bolivy Bem Negamont. DT Bolivy. Hotel waiters. Waiters, I think waiters in the Narona club. Or they can DT Bolivy Bem Nana Raga Hotel, Wundi Negamont. Waitress. Jina Maranya Hotel like me. There's a mother. Chai. There's a mother. How do you go find a gamunti here? There's a mother. Nana, I got no worry for Fajina. But many of you here are travelers. Of course, that one I know. I'm very sure about it because I know that people are coming. Room service. Amy Sammy said room service. I'm not sure it's waiters. Waiters are those who work in the club. That one I know. Hotel attendant. I'm not sure she's attendant because they don't kind of use it for mortuary. Mortuary attendant. Okay. Room service, fine. Let's use that one. I think that one is more better. Room service. Room service. So, now the woman in question, I can beat my chest and say that the woman in question is a room service who works in that same hotel. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, what have I pressed? What have I clicked? Oh my God. Oh my God, just hold on, I'm going to bring it back. Somebody say reception. Undo to now many ndinagam to undo to me. Reception bundi na receptionist. Bundi na reception. Didn't receive guests my but when you arrive hotel, the first person you are going to meet after security is the receptionist. Is the one who is going to. Somebody said he's a hotelier and they are waitress. Anyway, I'm happy because we are winning the case. So whatever. Let me try and bring back the sorry, just a moment. Just a moment. Let me try and bring back yeah, here we come. Just a moment. I don't know what I pressed and then the news disappeared. All right. I've seen it, so we are going back to it. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I need everyone here. I need everyone here. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I need everyone here. We must continue because we are winning. Now, according to the PW1, I'm trying to see where we were. PW1 further disclosed that he did not find any instrument of violence on the lady with kanu and did not consider her company or facilitating terrorism. So, let's continue here. When Agabi asked the DSS witness whether he found any instrument of terrorism on the defendant, he said no. Replying to a question about whether he, AAA, contacted anyone who the defendant mentioned as working with him, he said the defendant didn't mention any names, adding that he did not know whether other people were standing terrorism trial with the defendant in this case. So, the zoo is finished. I am telling you, the zoo is gone. Because after this case, after the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the zoo will never remain the same again. That is going to be the total balkanization of the damnable Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. It's good that this thing is happening and the whole world is seeing it. The zoo has become a mockery of itself in the international community. I'm telling you, it is over. I don't know which I saw a certain news yesterday that one man in Trump's cabinet, either a minister or whatever, is resigning today because of a mere allegation, a mere scandal, which is not even proven in the court of competent jurisdiction. The man is resigning today. I saw that news yesterday. This is the minds of people who are civilized. But you have somebody like Hope Uzodinjo who have been accused of all kinds of criminality or criminal activities. He's still the governor till today. You have somebody like Babio, the so-called Senate president, who has been accused of, sexually abusing Natasha. He's still Senate President today. Even before that case, we saw on a camera, on a national television, where the same Abio was telling other senators that they are going to receive a lot. This one is no longer accusation. This one is not accusation. This one happened on a national TV. I'm sure all of you remember. It was never enough for Abio to resign as a Senate president, even as a senator, not to talk of being Senate president. To resign as a senator, it was never enough. In a developed world with developed minds, you will never ever remain a politician till today. Never again would you remain a politician in that country, because you have committed an act of, abuse of office. Abuse of office. And you will never ever serve again as a politician. It's over for you. You are done.